Have you ever felt your heart sink when your doctor looks at you and says, your creatinine levels are higher than normal? I know that feeling. It's not just a number, it's a warning, a quiet cry from your kidneys asking for help. After 60, we begin to understand the silence of our bodies more deeply. It's not always sharp pain anymore, but the quiet signs of decline, numbers on a blood test that rise and fall, energy that slips away little by little. And so often it's the kidneys that speak first. I still remember one of my patients, Margaret, 67, from Minnesota. She came to me after a routine blood test showed elevated creatinine. She didn't smoke, she ate reasonably well, but she felt tired, struggled to sleep, and her skin had started to look dull. She told me, I can't quite put my finger on it, but I know my body is changing. And she was right. When your kidneys can't filter blood properly, toxins start to build up. Not just in the body, but in the mind. You feel heavy, drained, like you've lost the ease that should come with peaceful aging. But here's the hopeful part. The body has an amazing ability to restore itself if we listen and give it the right support. And sometimes that support doesn't come from pills or expensive treatments, but from something as simple as the food on your plate. In today's video, I want to share with you 6 humble vegetables, nothing fancy, nothing expensive, that have helped so many of my patients improve kidney function, lower creatinine, and regain their vitality. This isn't magic, it's science, it's nutrition, and most of all, it's love. Love for the body that carries us through these later years of life. A love we should nurture now more than ever. So let's explore together. Let's begin with something small, yet surprisingly powerful. Garlic. I once asked Harold, one of my patients in his early 70s, what he missed most after changing his diet. He sighed and said, Doctor, giving up salt was harder than giving up cigarettes. Everything tastes bland, like I'm eating memories instead of meals. But then Harold tried something simple. He swapped the salt shaker on his table for a crushed clove of garlic. At first it was just an experiment, but after a few weeks something shifted. His blood pressure eased. His creatinine levels, which had been creeping up, began to stabilize. And to his surprise, he found joy at the dinner table again. Garlic isn't a miracle pill, but it carries something extraordinary. Allicin, a natural compound that reduces inflammation and protects the tiny blood vessels inside your kidneys. When those vessels are healthy, your kidneys can filter blood the way they're meant to, like a clean water filter, free of clogs and leaks. Allicin also helps lower cholesterol and protect against urinary tract infections, which are all too common as we age. So think about this. Every time you add garlic to a meal, it's not just flavor you're adding, it's a small act of care. A way of whispering thanks to your kidneys, which work tirelessly day and night. And if you've ever felt like life after 60 is all about giving things up, remember this. Sometimes the right substitution doesn't take something away, it gives you more health, more taste, more joy. Garlic isn't just seasoning, it's a quiet companion, standing guard over your well-being, one meal at a time. Sometimes it's the simplest things we overlook that turn out to be the quiet heroes in our healing journey. And cabbage is one of them. I think of Margaret, 65, who lived alone in the quiet countryside of Iowa. She loved cooking, but one day her blood test showed rising creatinine. Her doctor told her to cut back on high-potassium vegetables like potatoes and squash. She sat across from me, her voice low. I'm afraid of saying goodbye to the foods I've loved my whole life. But slowly, she made a shift. She began inviting cabbage onto her plate. Sometimes steamed, sometimes sautéed with a touch of olive oil, sometimes turned into sauerkraut, just like her mother used to make. And here's the beautiful part. Within weeks, her test results began to change. Not dramatically, but steadily. She felt lighter. She slept better. Her spirit brightened. Cabbage has a secret strength. It's low in potassium and phosphorus, 2 minerals that weakened kidneys often struggle to process. But don't let its plain appearance fool you. It's rich in vitamin C, vitamin K, and powerful antioxidants. Quiet warriors that fight off the slow-burning inflammation inside the kidneys. You can steam it, sauté it, toss it into a salad, or let it ferment into sauerkraut. The classic dish that brings gut-friendly probiotics and a boost for the immune system. The kidneys don't cry out like the heart or ache like the joints. But when they're weary, your whole body feels it. And sometimes a warm bowl of cabbage soup or a simple plate of salad is like a gentle apology to those kidneys that have been working faithfully all your life. So if you're searching for something easy, affordable, and kidney-friendly, cabbage isn't just a choice, it's a gift. Never underestimate what's humble, because often it's the humble things that last the longest. Sometimes color itself is a gentle reminder of life, and the red bell pepper, crisp, sweet, and sunlit, is one of the most beautiful reminders of all. I remember Linda, 68, who once told me with a faint smile, "I thought that once I started a kidney diet, meals would lose all their joy." But one day she tried slicing a few strips of red bell pepper into her salad. The light sweetness, the bright color, the refreshing crunch. She said it made her feel like, my meal had a soul again. And the truth is, red bell peppers aren't just pretty. They're a perfect fit for those with tired kidneys. They're low in potassium, yet packed with vitamin C, vitamin A, and lycopene, a powerful antioxidant that protects both the heart and the tiny vessels in your kidneys. You might have heard of lycopene in tomatoes. But here's the catch. Ripe tomatoes carry much more potassium, which isn't always ideal for kidney health. Red bell peppers, on the other hand, are the gentler, safer version, offering the same protective armor without the extra strain. Picture this. Every time you slice a red bell pepper, you're not just adding color to your plate, you're wrapping your heart and kidneys in a quiet suit of armor. Linda told me that after just a few weeks of adding peppers to her meals, whether grilled, sautéed, or tossed into a cold salad, she felt less fatigued, slept more deeply, and most importantly, she felt alive again. Not just surviving, but living. Your heart and kidneys are lifelong partners, working together to keep the rhythm of life flowing inside you. And sometimes what they need isn't expensive medicine, but a touch of color, a touch of kindness, and the sweetness of a single red bell pepper. So next time you're at the market, don't shop on autopilot. Choose with love, because your body deserves to be cared for, with color, with gentleness, and with intention. At first glance, cauliflower might look a little plain, not as colorful as peppers, not as naturally sweet as carrots. But sometimes simplicity hides the deepest strength. Robert, a retired carpenter, once told me, "Doctor, I miss potatoes so much, but if I eat them, I worry. And if I don't, something just feels missing at the table." I suggested he try cauliflower rice instead. He chuckled. "Rice? Made out of vegetables? That doesn't sound right." But he gave it a try, just a little at first. 2 months later, he came back with his test results, handed them to me, and said with relief, "For the first time in years, I feel safe eating again." Cauliflower is one of nature's gentle detoxifiers, especially when the kidneys begin to slow down. It carries indoles and sulforaphane, compounds that switch on your body's natural detox system, helping flush out waste without putting extra strain on your kidneys. Even more important, it's low in potassium and phosphorus, but rich in fiber and vitamin C. Every time you eat cauliflower, whether steamed, roasted, mashed as a potato substitute, or pulsed into cauliflower rice, you're giving your kidneys a moment to rest, to recover. Picture this. Inside you is a delicate filtration system, working tirelessly to clear away toxins from food, medication, stress, and daily life. But when you send in something gentle, supportive, and cleansing with each meal, your body thanks you in ways you might not even realize. Cauliflower isn't just food, it's a soft whisper of gratitude, a way of saying thank you to the kidneys that have carried you all these years. Because in the end, eating isn't only about filling the stomach, it's about healing. And sometimes healing begins with the simplest, most ordinary things. Some foods don't shout for attention, don't take the spotlight, yet quietly walk beside us on the journey to better health. Asparagus, slender, tender, almost modest, is one of those gifts. I think of Evelyn, 72, a petite woman who always wore thick socks to hide the swelling around her ankles. She used to tell me, "Doctor, it feels like I'm carrying a bag of water around my feet." We didn't do anything complicated. We simply added a few spears of asparagus to her meals each week. And then just a few weeks later, she called me. just to say one thing. I feel lighter when I walk now. I don't feel pulled down anymore. Asparagus acts as a gentle, natural diuretic, helping the body release excess water and toxins without straining the heart or kidneys. When fluid balance is restored, the kidneys can finally catch their breath, no longer working overtime to keep the body in check. But asparagus does more than that. It supports digestion, eases bloating, and helps you feel lighter from the inside out. It's rich in fiber, folate, and antioxidants that protect more than just the kidneys. They touch many systems throughout the body. Of course, like all things in nature, balance is key. Too much asparagus can nudge up uric acid, which isn't ideal for those dealing with gout. That's why asparagus should be seen not as a miracle cure, but as a steady friend, a long-term companion on your path to wellness. Picture this: a quiet lunch, a few roasted asparagus spears beside your favorite dish, and within every bite, a small message to your body. I'm listening. I'm helping you cleanse gently, patiently, because the kidneys, as strong as they are, need tenderness too. And sometimes the gentlest care comes in the form of those green, graceful stalks, rising silently from the earth, carrying the strength of a hidden spring. And finally, let's talk about something that may already be sitting quietly in your kitchen corner: the onion. It isn't as bright as bell peppers, nor as fancy as asparagus. Onions are just there, humble, familiar, present in nearly every dish we cook. But inside those thin layers lies a healing power we often overlook. I remember Dorothy, 66, who once told me, "I never realized how important onions were. They're like the foundation of a meal. Not flashy, but without them, something feels missing." After she began adding onions to her meals, sautéed, simmered in soups, even roasted whole, she noticed subtle but steady changes. The swelling in her legs eased. Her lab results became more stable. And most importantly, she felt like herself again. Onions are low in potassium, easy to digest, and wonderfully supportive for anyone with weaker kidneys. They contain quercetin, a potent antioxidant that reduces oxidative stress, one of the silent forces that can damage the delicate blood vessels inside the kidneys. But that's not all. Onions help lower cholesterol, balance blood pressure, and protect those tiny capillaries, the lifelines that keep blood filtering smoothly. Just imagine this: every onion slice that sizzles in your pan, every softened piece floating in a warm soup, is quietly nourishing your kidneys. Not loudly, not dramatically, but steadily and faithfully. Yes, onions might make you shed tears while cutting them, but they are also the friend that makes your kidneys smile. In their simplicity lies resilience, just like so many of us after 60. We no longer need the noise or flash, only steadiness, strength, and peace. So next time you cook, don't think of onions as just an ingredient. Remember, every layer is a layer of healing. Every bite is a step toward health. So there you have it: 6 humble vegetables: garlic, cabbage, red bell peppers, cauliflower, asparagus, and onions. Not exotic, not expensive, not hidden away in specialty stores. But when you quietly weave them into your daily meals, your body begins to listen and respond. A steadier creatinine level, a deeper night's sleep, a morning where you wake without heaviness or fatigue. These shifts may seem small, but they hold the power to bring you back toward a fuller, more vibrant life. A life that age sometimes makes us believe is too late to reclaim. I always tell my patients, healing doesn't come from a single pill or a miracle cure. It comes from small choices, made again and again, with love every time you choose cabbage over processed food, every time you season with garlic instead of salt. Even when you simply add a few slices of onion to your soup, you're sending a message to your body: I care for you. I will not neglect you. And when you stay faithful to these little acts, your body will answer you back. Not in noise, but in quiet renewal, in lighter breaths, in stronger steps, in clearer vision, whether at 60, 70, or beyond. If this video spoke to you, please save it, share it with someone you love, and subscribe to this channel, because no one should walk this health journey alone.